Personal spells and others, check. Touch attacks, check. Unavoidable holy damage, check. Let me introduce you to Bombardier Woljif. This build for Woljif is a Grenadier Alchemist. It is made for core difficulty and below and works very well. It is known for having very good buffs, namely all the personal buffs such as shield and transformation that can be applied to your party members. It has guaranteed high damage, and that means enemies won't be able to avoid it, and it's gonna be useful for lots of boss fights and tougher encounters in the game. Unfortunately, because Woljif starts as a rogue, early game is a little bit harder on him. In mid-game and late game, he becomes an absolute monster and is a fantastic member of any party. As I said, it is useful in any party, mostly because of his buffs, his very good damage, and of course, this character is a fantastic skill monkey, capable of having 5 to 6 skills at maximum level. Let us take a look at Woljif's leveling screen to understand why we're taking Alchemist on him. Alchemist is a fantastic class, it is capable of very good damage, it has fantastic buffs, and overall is just a very great and unique character in my opinion. We are taking Grenadier because Grenadier is technically just an upgraded Alchemist. If you're an Alchemist, I see no reason not to be a Grenadier, except if you want to be anything else. But Grenadier is a straight up upgrade compared to the normal Alchemist in my opinion. You barely lose anything important. In fact, you don't lose anything important. Alchemist is fantastic for Woljif as he starts with 3 levels in Rogue, and that might be a problem for most other classes that we change into, but not for Alchemist. Since we're only going to be losing 3 levels at maximum, we're just going to be able to take Grand Cognatogen with him, so we will be able to get his best abilities, and since Alchemists don't require a lot of feats, we will just be able to finish the character completely. Going on with his stats, he has very good dexterity and he has very good intelligence, so that means we will be able to hit those touch attacks very reliably, and since he has a lot of intelligence, we will also have lots of bombs and very good difficulty checks on those bombs. Additionally, because he starts with lots of intelligence, he is also a fantastic skill monkey. By the end of the game, we will easily be able to maximize 6 of his abilities, so choose wisely what you want here, because you will be able to max half of the skills with just Woljif, and he's going to be great in any party. For Alchemist spells, it is very important that they have a discovery called Infusion. That means they will be able to put all those personal abilities such as shields on your characters. This means you will be able to drop shields and use two-handed weapons while still getting shield bonus on your frontliners. Additionally, you will be able to turn them into dragons or give them transformation, which is again a personal ability that would turn your character's base attack bonus to maximum even with a caster or any other non-maximum BAB character, which is absolutely monstrous. Additionally, they have a very good spell book. They are going to get access to shield, blur, bark skin, and just multiple defensive spells that's really fantastic on having just one, like having all of these on just one class. Now let's take a look at his feat progression and leveling. Unfortunately, his level 1 and level 3 feats are wasted, but we can still recover from this and it's not going to affect us too much on the grand scheme of things. At level 5, we are taking Point Blank Shot and Discovery Infusion. Point Blank Shot to prepare for taking Precise Shot next level, and Discovery Infusion is so that you will be able to buff your allies with your personal spells such as Shield, which is going to be very useful. Early game is buffing game. Since at this point we are a mixture of Alchemist and Rogue, the best you can do is use Woljif as a melee character, try to help your melee, and also use your buffs such as shield and bark skin to make your frontline a lot stronger. You can use your bombs on tougher fights or when you're fighting multiple enemies, but at this point you won't be able to keep in being enraged, and you won't have all the bombs and abilities to be able to do significant damage. So at this point you're just going to be mostly buffing, but don't forget your buffs are incredible and it's going to help your early game a lot. Going on, we are taking Precise Shot to be able to hit those direct bomb attacks when we're attacking enemies, and also Shock Bomb Discovery. Shock Bombs mostly for Blackwater. I thought you could take something else here, but I thought those Shock Bombs at the beginning of the game are especially useful. At level 9, we're taking ability focus bombs to increase the difficulty class of our bombs, so we're gonna be doing full damage more often. For discovery, I chose to use dispelling bombs, which is extremely useful throughout the game, as the way they boost enemies in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous is that they gain incredible amount of buffs on the bosses, and you can dispel all of them. An Alchemist is going to be perfect for this, especially as you are going to be throwing multiple bombs per turn, and dispelling bombs is going to be just destroying all those buffs on the enemies. On level 11, we are taking weapon focus bombs for the better touch attack hit bonus on single target, and we're preparing for multiple bombs per turn, so we're taking fast bombs discovery. By now, you should have a significant amount of bombs that you will be able to help your party, especially in tough fights. But most importantly, since you have dispelling bombs, you will be able to help massively on those boss fights where the bosses already start with Bark Skin, Shield of Fate, True Seeing, and all those nasty buffs that just make you struggle against them. And in a single round even, you will be able to debuff multiple of their abilities, and it will make your frontliners' job so much easier. Trust me, this is one of my favorite parts of this character. If you want to use some synergy here, of course, you can also use Destructive Dispel or the other Dispel feats that you can check out in the game, but I thought this route would be better. As we are reaching level 13, we can finally take Rapid Shot, and together with Fast Shot, you will finally be able to throw multiple bombs per turn, and this is going to be very useful throughout the game. We're also taking Holy Bombs Discovery, and from now on, no enemies will be able to resist your damage, and you're going to be doing very good holy damage to all enemies. We have survived the early game, you no longer have to use fire bombs. From level 15, we are taking extra bombs, and this means from now on, we really don't need any bonus feats with the Alchemist. We want as many bombs as possible. For Discovery, we're taking Cognitogen Discovery. And in fact, going on from here, we are only taking extra bombs and finishing our greater Cognitogen Discovery so that we can get more permanent alchemical bonus on our intelligence stat with Woljif. By late game, your Alchemist is going to be the vital part of your team. You will have access to invaluable buffs from multiple casting spellbooks, and you will be able to use Transformation in your frontline along with Shield. This will make your frontline much better and much more survivable, so don't miss out on these buffs. Your Holy Bombs will be doing respectable damage, and most importantly, it will be unavoidable damage, making your Alchemist one of your best damage dealers against tough opponents, especially if they have super high armor class and low touch attacks such as Playful Darkness. In the background, you can see the footage from my core Aeon playthrough where my Kinetic Knight is tanking Playful Darkness, and his touch attacks combined with my Alchemist Holy Bombs are slowly killing him. And there is nothing he can do since my bombs and Aeon attacks have already dispelled most of his buffs, and he can't attack through my concealment, and he has so low touch armor class and so low armor class that even my Seela at this point was able to attack Playful Darkness, and it was just an easy fight after we managed to make my Kinetic Knight tanky enough. In order to understand my way of thinking, I'm going to be showing both his mythic trees at the same time. Our first mythic ability is going to be Ascendant Element Fire. You might argue that this is a waste here, but I think it helps a lot in the early game, and for me, early game is the most important part of the game that I want to survive in. Going on, we're taking Rapid Shot Mythic. This should help us with more direct attacks with the bombs. And from now on, I'm going to be using a lot of our mythic feats since we don't need them to have more mythic abilities and sooner. That means we're taking Enduring Spells, then Greater Enduring Spells from feats. We're taking Abundant Casting, Weapon Focus Mythic, Improved Abundant Casting again instead of a feat, Greater Abundant Casting, and now we're taking Extra Bombs, which is a normal feat instead of a mythic feat. And for final ability, a little bit of a survivability, which is Ruptured Restraints. Here you have a lot of freedom, but I thought this might be the most efficient way of going with him. You could use a lot of other abilities. This is just the playstyle I prefer, and I thought is the most useful for this build. But feel free to change this. I really only recommend that you take Abundant Casting and Greater Enduring spells because he has really good abilities and he's going to be a very good buffer. Apart from that, everything else is up to you if you want to change here. One big hint I would like to share, and this is probably my favorite part of Alchemist, is the True Strike trick. It's not really a trick, but I think a lot of people forget about it. As you know, True Strike can give your character a plus 20 inside bonus to hitting, and you most of the time will be able to hit the opponent, especially because it's such a huge boost. If your Alchemist has no more bombs left, or you don't want to waste your bombs, or you have no meaningful ways again to attack the opponent, and your frontline just needs that small buff, keep in mind, remember, your Alchemist is able to cast True Strike on your front lines. Make use of it. This is one of the most incredible buffs that Alchemist can put on your characters, so make use of it. And with that said, thank you so very much everyone for watching this companion guide for Woljif. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will like playing as an Alchemist. The question of the day, on the other hand, is who is your favorite companion in Wrath of the Righteous? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video.